Hi students. In previous class, we have discussed about a few concepts we have discussed. In previous class, I have told about creating a virtual environment, creating the project, and creating the application. And then after that, we have discussed about installing Sublime. Then we have discussed about projects in the files in the project. All these we have discussed. And like today we are going to continue with files in application, then writing the code, then executing the website in browser. Like all these we are going to discuss. So yesterday I've sent the previous class videos and notes I've sent. I think all of you have received the notes and videos.
Yes, we have received.
Can you send a notes a little early so that we can practice? Because it's too late.
Yeah, yes. Like afternoon, like 12 o'clock afternoon, 12 I can send. Today, like yesterday, uh, means night I've sent, but afternoon I'll try to send. Afternoon, it is possible. I'll do that.
That will be better so that we practice.
Okay, sure. I'll do that. So here we have created the project in F drive. In F drive source one, it is created. Source one is the folder we are using. Here I'm deleting that project. I'm deleting the project. So we'll keep that environment. My env is virtual environment. So I'm deleting the project. So here F drive, and here I'll say CD source one, and entering into virtual environment. So here scripts activate is given. So entering into virtual environment, like this we have to do. So every day we'll do like this only. So entering into the folder, then entering into virtual environment. And here in this DJANGO is already it is installed. DJANGO software is installed. So here I'll say DJANGO admin, then start project, then project one is given. So CD project one, then py manage.py, then start app website one I'm using. So we are creating one application. So after doing this, opening Sublime. So here file open folder. So here I'm selecting in Sublime file open folder. Then F drive. Source one is the folder. Then project one, open folder. So here you can see this project one is there, and again project one. Project one is the main folder with the same name. Subfolder is also created, and py cache folder is there, __ py cache __. So it is used to store the website information in cache in temporary memory. And to use the project one as the folder as package, then we have to create a file called underscore underscore init underscore underscore. So this is used to create, it is used to use a folder as package. So init.py can be empty, or it can have statements also. Like by default, it is empty only. And in Python, we can see variables with a one underscore, and variables or functions with two underscores in the beginning, and we'll see some properties and functions with two underscores before and after. So if any property, if any function is having two underscores before and after, it means that it can execute automatically. So it can run automatically. And here ASGI is there. So asynchronous, like a gateway interface is there. So it is used to work with AJAX enabled pages. So we can write AJAX code, and it works with asynchronous requests and responses. Like instead of sending page as request, we can send only data. Instead of getting page as response, we can get only data as the response after the page is loaded. So this is that particular file is introduced in DJANGO 3.0. It is introduced, and here you can see settings.py is there. So settings.py means it is used to give the settings for the project. So whenever you want to give settings for the application, then this file we can use here. So it is used to give the path for HTML files, then CSS files, image files, like all this. And it is used to specify, show the installed apps, like which websites are already installed, and we can include our website also. Website one we can include, and it is used to work with middleware services. It will show like middleware services which are given here. Okay, so when we are working with this like middleware services, like these are Python programs only. Okay, and these will not execute in the browser, and these are executed while sending the request and while getting the response. These are so these can be executed. In our classes, we'll see how to create middleware services. Like it will enable the security, and it will work with, it will enable session management, maintaining the data, and adding slash at the end, and it will enable authentication, like a checking of users. Like based on the code we write, it will works. And it is used to specify database connections. So by default in DJANGO, a default database is SQLite database. We'll use MySQL and other databases also. And here you can see databases default is given, and here engine, and DJANGO DB backends SQLite 3 is given here. SQLite 3. So this is the package. In DJANGO, this is there. This is Python package. It is there. But when you are working with other databases, we have to download, and we have to use it. So we have to install. And here name base directory. Later I'll tell what is base directory, how it will works. So base directory slash db.sqlite3. So base directory is the variable which will access this path. F drive source one project one. Okay, like up to here. So base directory will access F drive source one project one, db.sqlite3 is given. So in every DJANGO project, we'll get this file. db.sqlite3 is the database file. Now it is not there. So when it is created, it is created when we execute the server, when we run web server, when we start web server, then it is created. Now it is not there. Okay, and here this can store any number of tables related to all the applications. Like in DJANGO project, 6 applications are there. Applications means websites. So like admin, authentication, then content types, all these are websites only. All these are websites. And And here we are using website 1. So the tables related to all the websites are stored in this database file. And here urls.py is there. It is used to give the URL pattern to access the functions in views.py. So whichever page you want to access, like home page and other pages, here we can specify the pattern. According to the given pattern, it will work. And here you can say WSEA is there. So WSEA means before that in urls.py you can see this DJANGO contrib import admin. So here we are importing admin application here. So admin package we are importing here. Admin package. Package means website. And here you can see DJANGO urls.py import path. So in urls.py, here path function is there. That function we are using. So in URL patterns, like this is the list here, because we are giving square brackets. So here we are writing a path, then URL pattern, then like this is given. So here we can access admin site. For that we have to create username and password. We can do it. So when I type admin in browser, this is URL pattern. When I type admin in browser, then all these will works. Here you can see admin site, then urls.py is there. Admin is the website or application we are using. In that, this is the folder. In this folder, urls.py is there. urls.py is existing. So that urls.py we are accessing with this URL pattern. And here next one is a web server gateway interface is there. So it is this file is used when we are sending the when we are sending the project from development system to production system. Like we can do hosting. Hosting can be done when we do web hosting. WSA file we should use. So it contains some default settings for the project, like application name, other things we need to mention. And now coming to this website 1. So here website 1 is the website 1 is the folder we are using. And here you can see migrations we are using here. Migrations you can see. Migrations you can see here. Okay. And here in website 1, migrations are used to, that folder is used to work with database files. Whatever tables related to the database, like whatever tables we are using, for that table, Python files are created. Like for example, if I want to create a table, that table creation Python file is stored in migration folder. If I want to create 2 tables, like let us say 3 tables. So to create 3 tables for website 1, then Python files are created. They are in migrations folder. So there, whatever files that are created, Python files, using Python files, tables are created in the database. And here to use a website 1 as a package, then here we are using init.py. So init.py can be empty or it can have statements. And here admin.py is there. So admin.py means it is used to specify what applications we can access. Okay. So here in admin.py, if I want to access any table or tables, in admin.py will write the code to access the tables of website 1. So tables are related to website 1, but if I want to manage those tables, then in admin side we can manage. Manage means adding new records, editing records, deleting records, seeing the records. In admin.py we can do that. And here apps.py is there. So apps.py means it is the Python file used to manage the applications. You can specify which application should run among all the applications what we are using. And next one is models.py is there. So models.py means it works as a data access layer or a repository layer. In a models.py, we'll create a class with the variables and functions. So by using them, we can work with by using them, we can work with this models.py. We can so when we create a table in when we create a class in models.py, in database table, tables are created, and using the class we can create form also, like web page with labels, text boxes, button. All these we can do here. Okay, what I said now is in models.py, whatever class we create, based on the class we can create a table, and based on the class we can create a form, web page with the labels, text boxes, then buttons. All these we can create. And next is test.py is there. So whenever you want to work with do unit testing, so whenever you want to test page by page, then test.py is used here. Test.py we can use it. So with like use of test.py is, it will generate the test cases, like whatever test cases that are generated, we can see which are successfully executed, which are failed, like which are in process. All these we can monitor. So with unit testing here, testing process is simplified. Okay, and here you can see views.py is there. So when we say about views.py, so in views.py will works as business access layer or a service layer. So it is used to store or used to maintain the values related to web page or values related to the application. So in views.py will create functions, and those functions will show the templates. So in views.py we are going to create functions. The functions will show the templates here. So templates are displayed here. We can see the templates. Templates we can see. So we can see the web pages. Templates means HTML files. So in views, two types are there: function-based views and class-based views. Function-based views we can see later, like in next. Sorry, in function, what all examples we are discussing, all are function-based views only. Class-based views we are going to discuss later after a few chapters. Then we'll discuss about creating class-based views also. Now we'll create a views.py with functions. So that function will send data to the template, or it will opens the template. Like all this, it will do it. And here you can say manage.py is there. Okay. So manage.py is a project level, not application level. It is project level because only one file we'll see here. Okay. So it is used to create application, manage applications. It is used to run the website. Like all these we can do with manage.py. Okay, so here when we see manage.py, like here you can see names are there: import OS, import sys, and def main function is there. So in Python classes you will learn about main function. So in other languages we'll use main function explicitly, like we'll write in the program. So but in Python, main function is used implicitly. Internally it will execute. Internally it will works. Okay, so in Python, in DJANGO, we are creating main function and we are calling like this. Okay, we are calling like this. So in main function, these settings are given here, like DJANGO settings module, like variable name, project one dot settings. Project one settings means settings.py in a project one. And here try block is given here. So try and except block is there here. Not a try and catch. Try and catch in other languages. Here we'll say try and except. So this is used to handle runtime errors. To manage runtime errors, it is used here. Okay. And here you can see accessing some modules here. Then except, here you can see try except is there, like a try and catch block. Okay, here only one line is there. We are accessing the code. Then import error as exc is given. Import error is a class to handle the error. As exci is given, raise import error is there. So raise is used to throw exception. To raise error, to manage runtime error, raise import error, and this is a message given here. So this is the message. We'll get this. Like if any problem is there with the code, then it will show the message here. Like could not import DJANGO. Are you sure it is installed and available on your Python path environment variables? Like this message will get if any issue is there. Okay, and here you can see if underscore underscore name underscore underscore double equal to underscore underscore main underscore underscore is given. Okay, so here when you create a module in Python, when you create a file in Python, some properties are added, like special properties we can say, because they are having two underscores before and after. Okay, like a name property, then module property, then package, then a doc. Okay, then many will be included. So along with other properties in a module, name also will get. So name works with the main property. This is main. Underscore underscore main underscore underscore. So name property equal to main means it is always true. It is every time true only. Okay, then if it is true, then main function will execute. So whatever code that is given here, that code we are giving here. So we are just calling. When you call the main function, what all is given here, all the statements will execute. So we know that the main function is the entry point for the program, and the program execution starts with the main function. Okay, so in Python also, in every module, main function will be there. If main function is not there, then program will not execute. We all know that. So here, if I change the name, then inside here we have to, default names are there. Here you can say project one settings is there. No, if I change the name here, then again we need to change here. Internally, like that name is used. Okay, that name also we have to change. So here you are saying no, like here I'll say site one changed. Okay, so but here it is not changing here. So now here I'll write the code here. So in views.py I'm creating a function, and here I'll say from django.http import, then http response is given. Okay, so here DJANGO is the package, HTTP is the module. Module means Python file, and import HTTP response is given. So HTTP response means it is the class in HTTP module. So when you are working with the DJANGO, like in DJANGO, whatever request, DJANGO projects will run with HTTP protocol. So whatever request we send using HTTP protocol, it is HTTP request. Whatever response we get, that response will call it as HTTP response. So this class we are using here, so that we can give response to the client. Client means browser. So here I'll say, so def function one request, and here I'll say return HTTP response. So here heading I'm using. So here I'm using a heading. Here you can see def function 1 request is given. So in Python, if you want to create a function, now I'm writing Python code only. So in Python, if I write code here, like if I want to create a function, then I'll use a def keyword. And function 1 is the name, request is the given as argument. Okay, the use of this request is it is used to give the response. It is used to give the response to the client request. And here you can say return HTTP response. So when we create a function, function can return value. So here you can say return HTTP response. Then here we are giving heading here. So HTTP response is the constructor of HTTP response class. Like in object-oriented programming, like when we create a constructor name, class name is the same. So in Python, constructor is created with init, and it is called with the class name. In other languages, constructor is created with class name. It is called with a class name. And here you can see HTTP response. So this is the constructor. Constructor is just like a function, but it does not returns value. Okay, function 1 is returning value, not the constructor. We are using constructor to show some string, to show some text. So in HTTP response, a constructor is used to create object. For creating variable or object we'll use. But now we are using constructor to send a text, to send message. So in HTTP response, we are writing H1, then heading is given. So here H1 is HTML tag, and to increase the font size, I'm using this. Like this given here. So in urls.py, so here I'll write from website 1, then import views is given. From website 1, import views is given here. So website 1 is the application, and here views.py is the views.py is the module. In views.py, what is there? Function 1 is there. In views.py, function 1 is there. Now here I'll say path, then function 1. Function 1 is URL pattern. Now I'll give the file name like views.function1. So now URL pattern, function name are same. They can be different also. So we'll see that. So in settings.py, here I'm using import OS. And then we are including the application here. See in beginning examples, if I'm not including also, nothing will happen. So it will works. Okay. But when we work with models chapter, like working with tables, then at that time we have to give the application. Now if I won't give also, it will work. So here website 1. So here we are, whatever I've done here, we are saving all, everything we are saving. So here db.sqlite3 is not there. When I run the server, that file is created here. See in latest versions, like in DJANGO latest versions, like their like a path and other properties are used. Like many are there. Like we are using directory name, their join function, many will use. Like they'll work with import OS only. In OS module, many functions are there. So they are given in settings.py. See, if you are using old version of DJANGO, no need to import. Only in latest versions we are doing that. So here manage.py is given. So here server is started. See, in this example, we are not using models. We are not using HTML files. We are not using templates. Okay. So when we move to the next chapters one by one, then we'll see how to work with all this. And now here 127.0.0.1 So yesterday I've told 127.0.0.0.1 is the IP address of the localhost. So browser will connect to the web server in the same system. Okay, like we can say client connects to the server in the same system. And here 8000 is given. 8000 is the port number where client and server will communicate. Browser and web server will communicate, and requests and responses is done between them. So yesterday we have seen we can run with different port number also. So here I'll say function 1. Function 1 is what? URL pattern. Here you can see this. And here we can change the URL here. URL pattern we can change. So here instead of function 1, I'll say index. Index page or home page we can say. So here when I do any changes, then server will reload automatically. It will reload. Here you can see this, like urls.py, like reloading. So in old versions of this DJANGO, like if any changes are done, so we need to stop the server again. We have to start the server. Stopping, then starting. We need to do it. But now here I am not doing that. If I do any changes in Sublime in any file, and if I save the file, then server is reloading automatically. It will reload the settings, and it will see if you are not importing OS in latest versions of DJANGO, it will show error. Like now it is showing now. Like here your server is running. Here it will give error. That way you can check, that you can see. It will give error. Your application will not run. I'm saying about latest version, not old versions of DJANGO. Okay. So now here I'll use index. So index is what? URL pattern. So here like this will get. And if it is the home page or if it is the index page, so here I'm giving single quotations. So if I use single quotes, then whatever we are using now, it works as a home page or index page. Because in home page or index page, will give only a website address. So I will not give URL patterns in the home page. So URL patterns are used internally, like internally they are used, and they are used to access the other pages. Okay, see when we open any website, we'll give the website address. Okay, but will not give a URL pattern. So to work with other pages, URL patterns are used. They are used internally in browser and will get other pages. Here also same thing. So we'll access only the first page, like home page or index page. So for other pages, whatever URL patterns that are given for other pages, they are used internally in the browser. It will use us and it will execute. Like we'll see many examples. Like in the beginning, you may have some doubts, but you can see the like when you see the examples, many examples, like your all your doubts are cleared. Now I'm giving like this. So I think file is not saved. Save all. So now you can see. So here I'm not giving any URL pattern. Okay, only IP address of localhost and port number. Here I'm not writing function one, index. I'm not writing. So only with that it will works. So this in real time, this server system IP address and the port number, all these are given in with the domain name. Like when we say Gmail or Facebook, they are domain names. So when we host our website, we'll purchase the name, domain name, like with a .com or .in, like with other extensions we'll purchase. Then according to that, it will works. Like that domain name internally it contains IP address and it will works. So here this is the first example, and now we'll discuss about the actual diagram of this MET design pattern. Okay, MET architecture or MET design pattern we have already discussed before. So the same thing with other files we'll see now. So here you can see this is the MET architecture or MET design pattern. So MET means model view template, and here you can see browser, and here you can see the remaining steps also. So here we can say that browser is in the client system, and what all the other steps you are seeing, all these are in the server. All these are in the server system only. Okay, because all these will be executed in the server. They are executed. So in browser, here we'll give the request. In browser, client will send the request. Now I'm saying no, like 127.0.0.1.8,000. So that is the request I'm sending. So when client send the request, that is sent to the web server in the server system. So client will have browser, and server will have web server will be server system will have web server. In web server, the websites will be. So as I said before, browser is an application, and web server is also an application. It is the software or an application used to store and to run the websites. So whenever you want to store and run websites, then we can use web server is used. So here also we are running web server. Okay, like development server we are running, DJANGO development server. So what I'm saying here is when browser sends a request, then that request will go to the web server in the server system. Okay, then web server will identify the project, and it will send that request to the urls.py in the project. Okay, so whatever request that user is sending, it will go to urls.py in the project. Okay, because in browser we are typing now URL pattern. So first it will go to urls.py in the project. Okay, so browser will take the web server will take the request, and it will send that request to urls.py in the project. Then from urls.py, because in urls.py we are giving URL pattern and function name. From urls.py it will go to views.py. Views.py it will go. So in views.py, whatever function we are giving, that function is called or executed. Now also when we say function 1, then it is going to function 1 in views.py. Then it is giving the response to the client. Okay, and here from views.py, here we'll go to models. Like the control will go to models here. So as I said before, views.py means it is business access layer or service layer. It is used to maintain the values given in the web pages, or it is used to maintain the values related to the application. And here models is there. So view is communicating with models. So here model means it is a model contains class which is used to create a table in database, or used to create form web page with labels, text boxes, and all this. So models means models.py. Views means views.py. Models means models.py. So models.py communicates with the database using ORM, object relational mapping. So as I said before, like in a Python we'll use SQL commands. In Python, SQL commands are used. Okay, and when we are working with this DJANGO, we will not use SQL commands like select, insert, update, delete. Will not use. In the place of SQL commands, ORM is used. ORM is again Python. Yeah, here template is not there, so view is sending data to the browser. Template is not there now here. That's why view is directly sending data to the browser. See, all these, whatever you are seeing now, all these will implement slowly. In first example only we cannot do, no. Okay, in first example only we cannot implement everything. So here, models.py means it is working with ORM. It is again Python code. About ORM, like separate chapter is there. In many examples, we'll use that. So again, from model, information is sent to view, and from views, information is sent to template. So a template means like a HTML file. Okay. So in HTML file, we are going to use HTML tags, then JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap, like all these we can use. Okay. So when we use all these client-side technologies, then it works as a static page. Okay. But in HTML file, if you are using template tags, then template tag coding, Jinja 2 code, like in previous examples I've told. So when you are using template tags, like this, variable or key. So here we'll give variable or key, it will show values from the server, from the database, anywhere. And here you can see template tag coding also. So here you can see template tag coding is also there here. Okay. So template tag coding we can use it. So when we are using template tag, this is template tag code. Okay. So when we are using a variable or key, or when we use a template tag coding in between HTML tags, between HTML tags, then it is treated as dynamic page. Say in like when you take other server side technologies, like for dynamic pages, we'll get like .jsp, .asp, .aspx, okay, and .php. But in DJANGO, you'll not get like that. Like the page may have static information or dynamic data. So it will be .html file also, that you need to identify whether it is static page or dynamic page. Okay. So if it is having HTML, JavaScript, CSS, jQuery, Bootstrap, all these, it is static. So if HTML page is having like template tag coding or like a template tags, which takes data from the server, sending the data to database server or tables, then it will work. Then here this template, whatever HTML file we have created, so from you will send data to template, and the template is given as a response to the client. Okay, so browser will be in the client system, and all these will be in the project, DJANGO project. So DJANGO project is in the web server in server system. Okay, when client sends a request in the project from urls.py to views.py, then models. Again, views.py will communicate with template, and then it gives a result. Like this, it will work. Okay, so this is the explanation of this MVT architecture or MVT design pattern. So I'm stopping now. So I will send these notes and recorded video by 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. I will definitely send. And tomorrow I'm not taking class. Next class is on Monday. Okay, Sunday also I'm not taking class. Next class is on Monday. So Monday will continue with examples like application level URLs, then creating multiple applications in the project, application level URLs. Slowly we'll enter into all the concepts one by one. And here I'll send the steps to run in Python, to install Python in Mac OS. Like here, the documents are already there. So I will send so that student can check install Python in Mac OS. Here already documentation is there here. So I'll send that. So if Python installation is done in Mac OS, then DJANGO you can install. So Python is installed no, in your system, in your Mac OS.
Yes, sir, it is installed.
Then you can do no installation of DJANGO. It is very easy with virtual environment creation. You should check, and there you have to see the folders like bin all you'll get no. Then there you have to
I am
install
getting some
DJANGO.
error message. I tried to install. I'm getting some error message. While hello.
Okay. So I
I
will
will
send
try
the
today,
steps.
sir. When you send the steps, I will try today.
Okay, sure. I'll do that. Okay, next class is on Monday. Monday will continue. Okay.